library in a mansion. There are bookshelves, a table, and maybe a chair or two. A book lies on the table and a phone, preferably a rotary. Professor Plum leads Miss Scarlet into the room. Scarlet is confused.
Professor Plum, where are we?
Miss Scarlet, in the library.
Excuse me?
Miss Scarlet, in the library.
With what?
I don't follow.
With what?
With me?
No, with what? A pipe, a rope, a knife? You're going to accuse me of murder, Professor Plum. Just come out and say it. Be a man and do it.
I'm not going to accuse you of anything.
Oh, Professor. There's a man lying dead in the foyer, and you bring me here to this room. What other reason would that be for except to accuse me of murder? You wouldn't be the first, Professor. Mr. Green and Colonel Mustard have accused me so many times they might as well put a big, bright red A on my chest for accused. Scarlet letter. I thought you were smarter than them.
I'm not in a place to accuse anyone. I don't know who murdered that man, and I want this solved as badly as you do. I'm just not skilled at solving mysteries. I'm only a professor. And the one thing professors are very skilled at is research. The answer always lies in the library. Voila.
That is brilliant. There are so many books here. One of them has to be about who murdered the man lying in the foyer.
If only it were that easy.
I'll look for a book on murder. Where's the section?
M is for music.
You jest.
It's the Library of Congress cataloging system. It may seem strange, but we academics are quite used to it.
Okay, I'll try K for killing.
K is law.
Wouldn't that law be under L?
No, because L is education.
And not E?
E is for history.
But that starts with H.
H is for social sciences.
Which is not under S because...
S is for agriculture.
Of course. That makes sense. No wonder professors have to be so smart. So what are we supposed to do?
When I'm doing research, before I decide what I need to learn, I like to reaffirm what I already know. So, with that being said, what do we already know?
He's dead.
Good.
He was murdered.
Getting warmer.
He was murdered by... No, I don't know. That's all I got.
That's all I have to.
No, what are we gonna... We're never gonna figure this out.
Wait! Let's see if we can narrow this down a little more. How was he killed?
Okay, well, we know it wasn't with a rope because there were no rope marks.
And we know it wasn't the revolver because there were no bullet holes.
And we know it wasn't the candlestick because of the gaping knife wound in his back.
Then,
With the knife!
Excellent work!
Really getting the hang of this detective thing.
You are.
You know, when I was a child, I loved reading detective novels. As I got older, these stories just never seemed practical, so I moved on to other hobbies, like not reading. If only I could go back in time and tell my childhood self one day, you'll wind up in a mansion full of strangers with a dead body lying in the foyer, and you'll wish you had learned more from the boxcar children.
Scarlet, this is no time to reminisce. Let's keep pushing forward. We're so close. We've already got the how. Now to figure out the where and the who. Indeed.
You know, I don't know if this is important, but...
Out with it! An idea is always better said.
I remember there were white marks on the victim's jacket.
White marks.
On his left arm, powder marks. What could those be?
You don't think he indulged in the king's habit?
No, I don't think so. Who does cocaine off their elbow? I have it. It's chalk.
Chalk.
From the billiard room. When he was stabbed, he must have fallen forward onto the pool table. That's how he got chalk on his blazer.
It must be. He was murdered in the billiard room.
But wait, we were in the billiard room. There was no blood on the pool table or anywhere a knife wound would have caused a heck of a mess.
Valid observation.
And the murderer cleaned it. But who? Which one of us would have the skill to quickly clean a room and return it to pristine condition? Professor Plum, I know who the murderer is. It's the maid! It's Miss White! She killed him in the billiard room!
George, I think you got it.
I'm gonna call it in.
Scarlet goes to the table, picks up the phone, and dials. 911.
Yes, I'd like to report a murder.
Pause. You realize the phone's voice is automated. For English, please press 1. Or say, English.
English.
Got it. If you are the one being murdered, please dial 1. Otherwise say, someone else.
Someone else.
Great. If you are calling about a past murder, please dial 2. Otherwise say, new murder.
New murder!
I'm sorry. I didn't quite catch that. If you are calling about a past murder, please dial 2. Otherwise say, new murder.
New murder!
I'm sorry. I didn't quite catch
New
that.
murder!
I'm sorry. I didn't quite catch that.
Representative.
Connect you to the next available representative. Please stay on the line.
Guess justice will just have to wait.
Miss Scarlet, dare I say, I am utterly blown away by your sleuthing abilities. Forgive me if I'm being a bit forward, but after you report the maid and we get out of this death mansion, would you like to join me in the world of academia? It's a cutthroat world, publish or perish, but with your tenacity, I think you can turn that scarlet A into an A for adjunct professor. If you could learn so much about detective work from silly detective fiction, imagine how far you can go when you read real books from a real academic library.
Excuse me, what did you say?
Sorry? I wasn't listening to myself. I just go into professor mode when I talk and talk and talk.
No, you mentioned that I learned from detective novels.
Well, that sounds like something I could have said.
Oh my goodness. Everything is so clear now. I know who killed that man lying in the foyer.
We've already established it was Miss White.
No. It was you, Professor Plum, here in the library.
Okay, I definitely didn't say that.
You didn't need to. Everything I learned about sleuthing, I learned from detective novels, right? Well, the first thing those books tell you is that the murderer always returns to the crime scene.
The scene of the crime is the billiard room. Remember the chalk on your elbow? The way you tune yourself out when you speak, you're going to be a fantastic professor.
A pool table is not the only place one could expect to find chalk. How about the pocket of an old school professor?
She reaches into his pocket and pulls out a piece of chalk.
Maybe next time you'll remember to change out of your work clothes before committing a murder.
So what if I always carry a piece of chalk with me? It's so much easier to explain my theorems to stupid people if I can write it out. It doesn't mean I stabbed that man lying in the foyer. Now, this is uncalled for. And how would I have stabbed him? Look around. There's no blood. If I murdered our man in the library, where's the blood?
In the nonfiction section. Deep in the stats. You know that a non-academic would never ever search for anything in the nonfiction section. Admit it. You murdered him.
A pause.
Like you. This is all very cute, Miss Scarlet. Yes, I'm here. And yes, we are physically in the library, but that's as far as it goes. If I did commit this atrocity as you insist, where's the knife? Where is it? How could I stab him without a knife? I've been told my wit is sharp, but it's not that sharp.
A pause. Scarlet is staring forward, like she's staring past him.
Exactly. I guess I was wrong about you. You aren't cut out to be an adjunct professor. Now, if you excuse me, I'm off to the billiard room to accuse the maid of murder. I hate to blame it on the help, but them's the breaks.
He starts to exit.
I have it! When we got here, one of the first things you told me is that the answer always lies in the library. Like you, the victim was an academic. It's why he cataloged the shelves in that weird, nonsensical system. And an academic would never just hide something haphazardly. You murdered him with the knife, and then you filed it. Where's the S section?
S for stabby stab stab.
For agriculture. If one wanted to find a book about knives, he would look somewhere in military silence or technology or even the history section. Et tu, Brute? But you know that, of course. You wouldn't put it somewhere obvious because then it could be found. And the worst thing would be if the knife were found, right? Wrong! You're an academic, and the worst thing that can happen to an academic is not receiving credit. That brings us to the agriculture section. And a little book on Prunus domestica, or as a dummy like me would say, the plum.
She opens the book. A knife drops to the table.
Voila.
Plum slow claps.
Bravo. Bravo! I must say, I'm truly impressed. You figured it out. In the world of academia, it's publish or perish, and that sorry chap didn't publish. It's too bad no one will believe you. It's my word versus yours, and I have lots of words. I've written books, many books. You barely colored books. Boxcar children? I am an esteemed professor with tenure. And you're a gold-digging little hussy who's 5 years away from being undesirable and unwanted. It's unfortunate, really. We don't get to pick the hands we're dealt. So what are you gonna do? Waste your time and accuse me? You'll be shouting to the wind. Or you can be smart. Keep your little theory to yourself and accept my offer. Being an adjunct professor isn't that awful. You'll make tenure eventually. What's it gonna be, Scarlet?
A pause. We then hear someone pick up the phone. A real person. Hello? This is Janice. Thank you for your patience. Can you please provide some details about the murder that you're reporting? A pause.